After completing the hardware configuration and establishing communication between our hardware, now we're going to create a simple program with using ladder logic. We're going to go to our tree, our project tree, the PLC that we created. We're going to go to program blocks. We're going to create a main program. As you can see, we have our network. We have our normally open contact, normally closed contact, your assignment, your empty box, your open branch, and your closed branch. We're going to create a simple logic to test our communication between the PLC and the KP8. We're going to start off with a normally open contact. And our assignment. We have to address this normally open contact in the assignment. In order to address this network, we have to go back to our devices to see our addresses on our module and our KP8. So we click on device and networks. We're gonna see our addresses on the digital input module that we created. Here is our digital input module. Double click on it. As you can see, we have our I/O addresses. We have our input addresses. The start address is 0. Our end address is 1. For example, let's go to okay. Now we have our digital input and output module that we created. We have your start address is 0. So we have our right here. We have our input address is I address 0 and 1. For example, we want to use the first switch. We're gonna do input 0.0. That's going to be our first switch. I means input. 0 is the first byte that we're using. The first set of bytes was 0 to 7, and dot 0 is the bit that we're using. So let's address our normally open contact. You go to main, and you right click, double click. You're gonna type in I 0.0. Click enter. Now you have your tag 1, tag underscore 1. Your input 0.0. Now we want to know about our KP8 address. The, go to devices and networks. Click on KP8. We're going to see our KP8. Now we have our I address and our Q address. Your input address and your output address. We want to use the 0 to light up. So we're going to use our output address as 0. So you're going to type your output, which is Q 0.0. Go to our main. Double click on our side. So we type Q 0.0. Create our tag for. So we address this normally open contact. Your input 0.0. That is. Let's go back to our devices. Our digital input 1624 volt DC. Our input address 0.0. Go back to KP8. Now we have our KP8 input and outputs. Our output Q 0.0. Let's go back to our main. Let's collapse. After creating your ladder logic, you're gonna download to the device. You're gonna have extended downloads to device window pop up. You're gonna have to select what type of PG PC interface we're using. We're gonna use the PNIE. And the PG PC interface will be a Realtalk GB family controller. The connection to subnet is our PN, the subnet that we created, the PNIE underscore 1. Show all accessible devices. Then we're gonna load. We're gonna overwrite some of the selected. Load. Now we're gonna go online. When you go online, it is good to put on your glasses so you can monitor your network. So let's put on our 3D glasses. Now you can test your ladder logic with the switch, with the assigned switch. You'll be able to see the assigned KP8 output lit.